There's a revolution going on with Minecraft capes in 2024. You see, capes used to be an exceedingly rare thing to obtain for your account. Ignoring those awarded to individuals, or ones like the Translator, Mapmaker, Scrolls, or Cobalt cape, the only way to obtain one for the longest time was to have been an attendee of the original in-person MineCon events between 2011 and 2016. For everyone else, there was the budget Optifine cape that required donating to the Optifine mod. Minecraft has sold well over 200 million copies, but less than 10,000 individuals have the MineCon 2016 cape, with even fewer having the older ones. To say that owning a cape was an exclusive club to be in would be a massive understatement. This was a hot button topic for the longest time, and up until 2021, that's just how the cookie crumbled for Minecraft Java Edition capes. The story for Bedrock was a little bit different, but aside from the pan cape, which anybody can obtain, capes were still pretty exclusive. All of that changed, however, if you owned a Minecraft account in 2021, because this was when Mojang would force all players to migrate their Mojang account to Microsoft accounts, which would award you with the Migrator cape, which over 5 million people own. Right around a year later, Mojang would merge Java and Bedrock Edition into one single game purchase, and all Microsoft accounts that separately owned both versions of Minecraft prior to this change would be awarded with the Vanilla Cape, which over 500,000 people own. In recent years, however, Mojang have been flipping the script on how exactly you can obtain a cape for your Minecraft account, and it involves earning them through some kind of participation in some kind of an official Minecraft event, which I'll briefly cover, but the last one is the one I really want to focus on. In October of 2023, it became possible to earn the Cherry Blossom cape by voting in that year's mob vote by logging on to a Bedrock Edition server that was online during the mob vote. On May 19th of 2024, Minecraft turned 15 years old, and if you've been paying attention to the game at all during this time, you'd have probably noticed the plethora of 15-year anniversary events that Mojang have been doing. As far as capes are concerned, 3 of these events involved earning a cape for your Minecraft account: the Followers Cape, the Purple Heart Cape, and the 15th Anniversary Cape. The first 2 involved watching Minecraft content on TikTok and Twitch respectively, and the third involved clicking a button on Minecraft.net when the event began. While you did technically need to earn these capes, they were quite easy to get, as long as you knew what to do and you were in the right place at the right time. By one definition, the word earn is the correct way to describe this, but by another definition, to earn something means to work for it, to put the time and effort into earning it. And as far as Minecraft capes were concerned, we had never really seen a cape that you had to put much time investment in order to earn until today. Today, I want to draw your attention to the most recent addition to the earnable capes lineup, because this one is much more involved than all capes that have come before it, and it reveals an interesting trend that I hope continues well into the future for Minecraft capes, which we'll also talk about. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So, Minecraft have teamed up with Noxcrew and MCC for 2 different 15-year anniversary related events. The first one being the Ender Cup, which is a special edition live-streamed MCC event that happened on July 27th, and the second is the subject of this video. Starting back on July 22nd of 2024 and going through August 4th, Minecraft is hosting an MCC-themed server that absolutely anybody can join in order to earn the MCC Cape. Unlike capes of the past, however, there's more to earning this cape than just doing one singular thing and moving on with your day. Instead, this server houses loose recreations of 4 different MCC-themed minigames: Meltdown, Grid Runners, Ace Race, and Sands of Time. In order to actually earn the MCC cape, assuming you're seeing this video on time, you'll have to log onto the server by opening Bedrock Edition and clicking on this button to join. Then, you'll have to complete all 15 challenges on the provided challenge list in order to earn the cape. The first 4 pretty much boil boil down to complete at least one round of each minigame. The next 10 challenges involve wearing one of the team mascot hats while doing some kind of quest that mostly involve these 4 minigames, such as running over a launch pad 50 times in Ace Race, defeating 350 frozen enemies in Meltdown, finding the hidden pearl at the end of Grid Runners, or collecting 100 sand within Sands of Time. These first 14 challenges take somewhere between 1 to 3 hours to complete, but if you had logged onto the server on day 1 expecting to earn the cape that day, you would have been met with a rude awakening in the form of challenge number 15, the Mystery Cave Challenge. Complete all 7 of the painted puzzle challenges in the Mystery Cave. These 7 challenges were released at a rate of 1 per day, meaning you would either have to log onto the server every day to complete the daily challenge, or just log on after day 7 and complete all of them at once. All told, you're probably looking at 10 to 20 minutes of additional effort, which isn't all that much at all. But again, if you had logged onto the server on day 1, hoping to walk away with a cape, you were in for a rude awakening that this cape was going to take some time to earn, which I think is a good thing. One bit of criticism that I've seen towards the idea of Minecraft getting more frequent cape drops is this notion that newer capes devalue having older capes, and I could not disagree with this any more than I do. Bear with me for a second, but World of Warcraft is an MMO that has literally hundreds of rideable mounts, many of which cannot be obtained anymore. There's this one mount called the Black Karaji Resonating Crystal, which was only obtainable for 10 total hours on any given realm back in 2006. Keep in mind that any character that you make is bound to one specific realm unless you pay to transfer it. So seeing somebody with that mount today is an outright mythical event. And in my opinion, the same kind of applies to the MineCon capes. If Mojang were to ever start selling capes for real-world money, that would be a problem. Looking at WoW again, the Swift Spectral Tiger was only obtainable as a 1 in 400 drop from WoW trading card booster packs back in 2007. Today, getting a code to grant you access to that mount would cost you well in excess of $5,000 USD on the secondhand market. That's not to say there's no possibility of Minecraft accounts being bought and sold for the value of their capes, because I know there's a black market for it because people try to buy my account all the time, and I know there's a black market for rare account names, but so long as newer players are able to get their hands on capes over time, I don't really see that becoming too much of an issue. I mean, up until 2021 with the Migrator cape, people hated that capes were so impossible to get. The only way you were likely to have one if you didn't go to MineCon was if you used the Optifine mod and donated to Optifine to get one, which just so happens to be against Mojang's terms of service now. As the years pass following the 15-year anniversary event, if you have these capes, it'll be a symbol that you were there, celebrating with everyone else who has them. Knowing what it took to get capes in the past, and knowing how this has evolved in recent years, opens the door to a whole new world of possibilities for how Mojang could continue to give out capes well into the future. Here's a good example. The game studio Jagex, who developed the MMO RuneScape, put on a near yearly competition called the Golden Gnome Awards, wherein well over a dozen creators of various kinds can win awards in a wide variety of different categories, as you can see here. And among other things, the winners get a few Golden Gnome items for their in-game characters. Now, I'm not saying Mojang should copy this idea and give capes to the winners, though that would be positively awesome, but what I am saying is that the sky is the limit for how Mojang can continue to expand giving capes to their player base, with this most recent MCC Cape event being the best example of what I've seen yet and what I hope is still to come. If I know Mojang as well as I think I do, every cape event that they will ever do will be inclusive to all players. But regardless, I will forever welcome these time-limited cape events, and I'm honestly looking forward to expanding my own cape collection, seeing as my account is tied for having the most amount of capes of any non-Mojang player in the entire game. It just goes to show how long I've been around. What do you all think? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and thanks for watching.